Everyone, we have a huge announcement to make. We have decided to start a new chapter in our lives.
We quit our jobs, packed up all of our things.
We will be leaving San Francisco
and moving to
Florida.
Cheers.
Tropical.
Piña colada.
Let's go. Thank you.
I think today is the hottest day in San Francisco that we've ever felt. It's 84 degrees right now, which is unheard of. So Florida must know we're ready for it and giving us a little dose.
Yeah, it's just like a little prep for Florida probably, which I welcome. I love the heat, all right? I love the heat.
I do too, I just sweat a lot.
Where are we gonna get some food at? I'm hungry.
This is our favorite thrift store out of the closet. Thank you.
So back in 2012, me and Amber drove across the entire country to move from Florida, which is our home state, to San Francisco. We had about $3,500 in our pocket and we did not know what we were getting into at all. We had no idea how expensive it was out here. Actually anything, I had never even been here. Amber had been here once.
When we moved here almost 8 years ago, we didn't have a plan, so no job, no house. So we searched everywhere that we knew to search, and we would have settled for just about anything, to be honest, but we did really good, and well, we thought it was good at the time, and we found an SRO. That means single room occupancy. So it's a live-in hotel that you share a bathroom with everyone on your floor. Some people live there for a week, but other people live there for 30 years. We ended up living there 1 year. We paid $1,000 every month. And that's all that we could afford, so no security deposit or anything. But luckily it was right here on California and Polk, so we had access to restaurants and bars and a really cool community. So it was right here across the street. There's a karaoke bar right next to it, so it was loud, and we learned the song Don't Stop Believing because we heard it every single night at 2 a.m. But we truly loved it here, and we built a sense of community.
I actually scored a job right around the corner, so my commute was seriously a block away at Brownie's Hardware, and I became a manager there, and I was like, how can we get out of this SRO situation? We need to figure something else out. Maybe we have to move out of the city. But we were super determined when we moved to San Francisco to live in the city and not live in a suburb or anywhere outside of it, and we followed through. We made that dream happen. But through that job as a manager at the hardware store, I was exposed to a lot of on-site managers or resident managers, and I was like playing around with the idea of doing that, and so I applied for a few positions and eventually I got one. So we went to a completely different neighborhood than where we were here, night and day.
We enjoyed our time here more than most people would living in an SRO. You have to appreciate the little things. So after 1 year, we moved on.
We ordered a sandwich.
Now we'll wait for it. We're all about supporting local establishments, so no Subway for us. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, let's sit and enjoy our sandwich. Alright, we got the cheese plus sandwich. Go ahead, open it up.
Okay, let's see what we're working with. The unveiling of
we got the
vegetarian sandwich.
Cole Valley. We got some brie in there, some cucumbers, some olive spread. Delicious.
Very fresh.
You know, when it's a hot day, you gotta get a cold sandwich. You can't be having some hot sandwich on a hot day. Unless you're real tough, but let me try it out. Very salty, very good. Baguette's nice and soft. The brie and the olive is just like salty goodness. Very refreshing for a sandwich. So after about endless searches to find the right on-site management position, I finally got a call back. It took about 3 months for me to actually get the position, but I got it and I managed this building. So me and Amber lived here for 3 years in the Marina District, which is really the total opposite than like Polk Street District area. And I had the privilege to manage this building. It's a really classic 1920s building. It taught me so much about property management and would have taken us to our next home and my next job. And I was just so grateful for this. It was so nice to have a home with a bathroom inside of the studio, and I felt like I was on top of the world because I got that position. We were super grateful for our time living here. It was such a nice home, such a beautiful building with such a wonderful company that I'm eternally grateful for, because it got us out of our SRO situation. Even though we were happy to have that home at first, we were really ready to get out of there. So it ended up leading me into, you know, the path that I've taken now and be able to save up so much money. I mean, the apartment that we lived in was probably, at that time, the market was $2,500 for a studio, like a 500 square foot studio.
And she didn't think she was qualified for the job, but I encouraged her to apply, even though she hadn't done a lot of the things that it said are requirements. But a tip that we have is when people say, can you do something? You say, yes, I can. I haven't yet, but I can. And it got us to where we are today.
I think the best one for last is our home that we're currently in. This is also the building that I manage. It is gorgeous, classic 1920s building. It has been such an honor to manage this building and to be a part of such a cool community. It's gonna be really hard to leave it, but luckily, we're on to some new adventures, you guys.
Yes, it's been fun living in the Mission. While we were here in San Francisco, I worked at quite a few different tech companies, and I found my favorite one for these past 2 years. It's gonna be hard to move on from something that is so culture rich and fun, and there's so many perks, and it really feels easier to stay, but we know in our hearts that we must move on to the next chapter.
And everybody that we worked with and everybody in the community that we live nearby, our neighbors, thank you guys so much. This has been the coolest experience ever. Now you're probably wondering, what's next? That's a very good question.
So are we.
So a few things are for sure. We're gonna be driving across the country.
Road trip.
Road trip, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be staying with our families for, you know, as long as it takes, I guess, just decompressing, enjoying time with them, just relaxing with our family.
Then hopefully travel internationally if everything with COVID allows. So we'll do what feels right with that.
Yeah. Stay tuned with us. It's going to be an adventure. You can watch it all unfold with us. We'll keep you posted on our developments and everything that happens, where we end up landing, what way life takes us. It's gonna be exciting. When we were on Polk Street, we stopped at the legendary Bob's Donuts. What do we got there?
You know it's a good donut when the bag has the donut grease rings on the outside, and we're excited. We used to know what time they'd make them fresh, so we would go at that time. It was like 11 p.m. Whoa, is this one donut? Whoa.
There's a glazed one in there and a maple old fashioned.
Oh, it's 2 donuts.
I got a glazed right there.
Uh-huh.
And a maple old fashioned.
I'll try the glazed, okay? It's so doughy and sugary and light all at the same time. You like that? I like that.
Donuts are my favorite.
We are Honey I Roam. Be sure you like, subscribe, follow, and share with all your friends. Enjoy our journey like we will too.